Hey guys, Andrew here from Drew Reviews, and I've been kind of wanting to do a live stream. I see a lot of movie reviewers doing live streams these days. The channel, however, is not quite big enough, in my opinion, to do a live stream. So I sent out on my Facebook page and to some of my subscribers, I'm like, hey, if you got any questions for the channel, send them in. I'll do my best to answer them. I think this would be a fun little interactive deal, so let's get going. Question number one comes from a subscriber named Jason Goff. He wants to know, with the holidays upon us, do I consider the Die Hard movies Christmas movies? I mean, I kind of feel they are. The first two Die Hard movies take place during Christmas, right? I don't know so sure about the feel of the second one, but the first Die Hard movie is definitely a Christmas movie. I mean, it's taking place during a Christmas party. He's there to see his wife and kids. It's kind of like Clark Griswold on steroids, if you ask me. He's got the whole now I've got a machine gun, ho ho ho, that whole thing. To me, the original Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie. Amy would like to know, what movie do I really like but that my wife hates? Because I've talked about my wife watching movies with me on this channel quite a bit. The first one that came to mind was The Big Lebowski, just because it's one of my favorite movies ever. Hilarious comedy. And I know she doesn't like it because I believe the F word is used 260 plus times. And usually I'm not a big proponent of that either, but this is a comedy, so it actually kind of fits. It's just preposterous the way it's used. But I actually brought this to her attention, and she said she didn't hate it. She just hates that word. So the one movie that I know she absolutely hates is, we just watched fairly recently, and that's Videodrome, the David Cronenberg film starring James Woods. I really like that movie. It's odd. It's weird. It's a little too odd and a little too weird for her. So we got done watching it, and she's like, "Don't ever make me watch that again." So she's probably forgotten about that. But this will refresh her memory. Amber would like to know, what scary movie did I see as a child that still gets to me to this day? And this one took a little thinking, because the only one I can really think of that got me as a kid was that last scene with Donald Sutherland in the 1978, I believe, version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where she's the last one. That scene really got me. I remember getting creeped out by that as like a 11 or 12-year-old kid whenever I saw it. So that'd probably be the only one. She also asks, what movie made me fall in love with sci-fi, and that's an easy one for me. The Terminator. I'll talk more about the Terminator at length. There's very good reason for that. But definitely Terminator 1. Kane the Outcast asks, was Benny from Total Recall really that bad of a guy, or just an industrial entrepreneur? Man, Benny had 5 kids to feed. He's just looking out for number 1. Kane also asks, if Kevin McAllister from Home Alone could order a pizza, why couldn't he have just called the cops? I think he did, didn't he? Near the end, my name is Murphy. But I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he did call the cops. Hope that answered your question. A good friend of mine, Jonathan Knight, he runs the B-Movie Madness Facebook page. Definitely check that out if you're into B-movies. I've been a member over there for like 3 or 4 years. They talk about some great B-movies. They have viewings and everything. His question was, what is my favorite all-time guilty pleasure movie? And guilty pleasure has a lot of different meanings. To some people, it'd be just like a B movie. And if that was the case, you're looking at, I love Sleepaway Camp 2. I think it's the best Sleepaway Camp movie. Couple of Hulk Hogan movies, No Holds Barred and Suburban Commando I like. Deadly Prey, which I just recently watched again, is the most ludicrous thing, and I absolutely love it. But if you're talking about guilty pleasure, that's like a movie you don't want people to know that you watch. And I'll tell people straight up, I like Deadly Prey. So, to me, a movie that might get me kicked off YouTube for admitting this, because I don't know anybody else who would admit this. I like Alien Resurrection. Not the last 15 minutes of it with the newborn. Ugh, it's awful. But I like Alien Resurrection. The character of that Ripley plays isn't very good, but like the cast of the Betty, you can see where writer Joss Whedon was going with the Firefly characters, with those characters. Michael Wincott is one of them, and he is amazing. I love the lighting of the movie. The production team was French, I believe, so they brought a whole different look, especially for like a late 90s film. You'd see more of that toward the 2000s, but like a lot of monochromatic browns and grays, and a lot of lights coming up through grates in the floor and coming from odd places, and that's one of the reasons I really like it. Plus, swimming aliens, that's absolutely terrifying. So yeah, if I had to pick a guilty pleasure that I had to tell somebody about, it would be Alien Resurrection. Not a good movie, but one that I enjoy watching. Ben, the Wolfman, wants me to rank the Rocky movies from worst to best. And I've not seen any of the Creed movies save for Creed 1, which was alright, but I'm not going to include it in this. So, of course, number 5's got to be the worst. I'm not a huge fan of Rocky 2. It's got a better fight scene at the end than Rocky 1, but, you know, the stuff with Adrian in the hospital, in a coma, and it just drags on for so long, so it would be 5 to then probably Rocky 4. I might do a video on that because people love Rocky 4, but it's as a film, it's kind of low for me. Then Rocky Balboa, Rocky 3, and Rocky 1. I got the opportunity to see Rocky 1 at a midnight showing, and that was really awesome. Rocky 3 is my favorite one to watch. It's just dumb fun. So I've got a couple more from Amber here. She knows that I'm a fan of practical effects. And is there a special moment in a movie where there's an application of practical effects? And the easy answer would be all of The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. As Rob Bottin is amazing in that movie, the things that he did. If I had to think about it more, probably the Alien Queen, just the puppeteering genius there. And anytime I see a beautiful matte painting in an older movie, I just like to sit back and just sometimes even pause it. And like the other day, I was watching Screamers with Peter Weller, and his character of Hendrix and Private Jefferson are walking to like the NEB headquarters, and some of the scenes there, the apocalyptic scenes in the snow, where they've painted those in are just gorgeous. The NEB headquarters are gorgeous. So yeah, anytime I see a really, really cool matte painting. So Amber has one more, and it's who's my first cinematic crush? And for me, that's an easy one. It was Drew Barrymore in Bad Girls. Oh my gosh, with that long blonde hair. My good friend Trevor, who you might remember me talking about during the Vanishing Point review that I just did recently, he asks, how would movies have been different if Chris Farley had lived? Because Chris Farley was penciled in to be the voice of Shrek. There might even be some voice work done with Chris Farley. And he also asked, how would that have impacted the careers of like Kevin James? Would he have been as big as he was? I'll tackle that part first. I think, yeah, Kevin James, I think he would have still been a big star. Talent begets talent. So I think eventually he would have gotten there. As far as Chris Farley, yeah, Shrek would have been huge. I could definitely see him as a Austin Powers villain, and you know the one I'm talking about. As far as what movies he would have gone on to do, I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I could see him taking Jack Black's place in a lot of movies. Like, I could see him being that Nacho Libre character, and that would have been hilarious to see Chris Farley as Nacho Libre. But, yeah, I think he would have had a big career. I think he would have ended up in all those Adam Sandler movies, Grown Ups and all of those, and would have stolen the show. So, yeah, rest in peace, Chris Farley. I've got another one from Kane the Outcast. He asked me, Terminator 3 or Terminator Salvation? As a Terminator fan who only believes that 1 and 2 are canon, asking me Terminator 3 or Salvation, that's like, would I like to run my pinky finger through a meat grinder or smash my big toe with a rubber hammer? It's just, take your pick. And Mr. Tumnus 187, I can't believe that's a real screen name. He asks, I see you wearing your Gibson hat in every video. Do you actually own any Gibson guitars? Well, as a matter of fact, yes, I do. This is a guitar that I play live quite a bit. This is a Gibson 70s Les Paul Tribute. There's the headstock right there. It's got Dirty Fingers pickups in it, which are really loud and abrasive, and they'll cut through a drummer, bass, vocals. I really love this guitar, and everybody tells me that's your best sounding guitar right there. Good guitar. This one, take a look at the grain on that baby. This is a Gibson Les Paul 40th anniversary tribute. In 1979, which was a special year for me for obvious reasons, they released this guitar that was all walnut. If you see, it's darker than like a regular wooden guitar. And they ran it from 79 to about 82. It didn't sell very well, but a lot of people love these. And I always looked at them and loved them. And of course, as you can tell, I'm left-handed, so I bought this thing and I converted it. I switched out the nut for a left-handed nut, which took a little bit of work, and then adjusted the saddles and everything. And I don't play this one out, but I do play it here at home. Main reason being, your arm's going to hit the volume knobs and everything. But this guitar sounds great. It was my first Gibson I ever bought. Just a gorgeous guitar. And as a bonus, I've got one more for you. The guitar that I did the theme song with for the channel is actually this one here. This is the first guitar that I saved up and bought that was a substantial amount of money for me anyway. This is a ESP LTD EC1000, and yeah, this is the guitar that I'm most comfortable playing. And I keep it tuned down half a step to like E flat, like Metallica plays that. Most people play that live, tuned down that low. And so yeah, this one right here did the theme song. So I hope I answered your guys' questions. Feel free to leave comments down in the comments section if you got any more questions for me. Hopefully one of these days we can do just like a full live stream. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe as always. And guys, see you down the line.